Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Sour Sweet, and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be doing episode 0 of our tutorials for building in The Sims 4. Now, the whole point of this is to get absolutely back to the very basics. This is for people who are brand new to building in The Sims 4. If you've already done a little bit of building in The Sims, this probably won't be helpful for you. Maybe it'll make you giggle, but otherwise, my hope is that those who are intimidated by building will be able to watch these videos and have a good reference point. Have a bit more confidence as you go into the build. Throughout the series, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and as I explain each thing, we'll build a house around it and see what we come up with in the end. If there's anything I've missed or anything you really need me or want me to cover, just let me know in the comments and I'll go ahead and add it to my list of videos. Again, this is a very, very basic series of tutorials. The point of this is to help people become comfortable with the basic mechanics so that they can really explore their creativity and have fun. Let's go get started, but in the meantime, if you want to hit subscribe or like, I would greatly appreciate it, and let's go have some fun. Now this is Newcrest, and this is where we will be building today. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab this lot right over here. It's Midtown Meadows. It's a nice size for us to build with and play and show a lot of what we have going on. It's 40 by 30, and it would be 3,000 simoleons. Now, literally, like I said, this is episode 0. I'm going to go ahead and tell you every little step as we go. If you know all of this, go ahead and skip ahead. But if not, hopefully this is helpful. So if you're building and you don't have a family or you don't want to work with a family, you just feel like building, you can go ahead, click on a lot, and then right in your bottom right corner, you're going to have 3 buttons. The one to create a new household, to visit the lot, or you can go ahead and build in it. Today, we're going to select the little wrench and hammer and build. All right, wonderful. Here we are, your starting menu for building. We're going to go ahead and cover every menu you see on the screen today. But we're going to start right up in the left corner for the venue information and location name. Now we're here in Midtown Meadows, and if we click on this little glowing house that says venue info, now this is going to have information like the lot type, lot value, dimensions. You can add in bedrooms, bathrooms, things like that. If you select different lot types, it's going to give you different requirements. So if we go ahead and go to the tiny home residential, say you have tiny living, you can go ahead and see there's different tiers, things like that. Just gonna pop that back to regular residential. Now right here is the traits panel. You may be used to the traits panel from CAS or Create a Sim. These traits and challenges are going to allow you to customize your experience a little bit more. Now up here at the center menu, boop, 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 we can see a lot of different options, but fairly simple. So the select button is going to allow you to do all the things you need to do to grab things, build things, what have you. This is going to be the main tool that you're using. You're also going to have the eyedropper here. So if you lay down a piece of furniture and you want to copy it, you set down a chair. You're like, oh, I want 2 of those. Instead of going back through the menu, you can just grab the eyedropper, press the chair, and a new one will pop up as well. Now say you really like that chair, but you want a different color. For that, you're going to go ahead and click on the design tool, or you can always press R. Most of these are going to have the name of the tool that you're using, along with the hotkey. So here we have sledgehammer. This is going to be to delete things, knock stuff down. Pretty self-explanatory, but still, it's there. These 2 buttons, as you do things, will go ahead and undo, redo, as you need. Then we have Save to My Library. This is different than saving in the game. This is going to go ahead and take your lot, your room, whatever you've been working on, and save it to your library. Then you can go ahead and place it in Otherworld. You can share it on the gallery. So many options. I enjoy saving most of my work to my library. I don't post enough on the gallery, but I'm trying to work on it. We have the move lot and house button here. Now when you click on this, you'll see it actually gives you two more options. Move house. So if we had a building here, we could just press that, click it, and drag it around. If you click on move lot, that's going to move the trees, the landscaping, all of that along with your movement. And last, as far as buttons go in this menu, we have bulldoze. Now, bulldoze is actually going to bring up another mini menu. You'll get two options here. You'll get to bulldoze the lot, which will bulldoze everything that's built on there, and bulldoze terrain. Now, if we quick look at the lot here, you can see that it is not solid. There is brown over here, there's different shades of green. Those are all terrain paint, and that's something that we'll be getting into later. But if you want to remove it, you want a completely clean slate, boom, that's your button. Real quick, while we're here, before I forget, you can always go ahead when you're in build mode and press G on your keyboard. It takes off the grid, which when you're building the structure of the home doesn't really help a lot. But for placing different types of furniture, looking more at the design elements, popping off that grid can help so much. We'll pop it back on for now. Now the last button in this menu I am really wanting to show you is the time of day. Okay, so here's the purpose for that in build mode. Not just to see how things look, like, oh, does this look nice at night? You know, things like that. All valid. But what I use this for is to get the best lighting for when I'm building. Now, as you can see, this is morning lighting, you know, beautiful morning glow, but not necessarily going to give us the best, brightest view. So let's scroll through the different times of day and see which light works best. We have the afternoon, which is bright and we can see lots. Evening is closer to the morning, but shadows are hitting the lot a little bit more. And then of course we have night, which lighting is even, but it's a little bit darker to build in. I personally prefer afternoon for most lots. Now the next menu we're going to go over is the one in this top little corner here. Oh, top little corner here. If we go over this menu, most of it is going to be most helpful when we're actually building. We'll touch on these things again when we're in these different modes. But first and foremost is the Manage Worlds. This is the button you're going to press when you want to go back to the larger world that you were in, or select a different world. This right here is going to open the gallery. So say you've picked this lot, you love it, you don't feel like building today actually. You can go ahead, jump in the gallery, pull up someone else's home, and plop it down. You also can go ahead and get rooms, things like that, from the gallery as well. It's really a great tool, but can be incredibly overwhelming. So take your time. Now these next buttons here are going to help you either be on the first, second, third, or down in the basement floor. That way, you can easily go between floors, work on them, and keep going. Now, this button is going to control how you view your walls. You lay down a room, you click on this button, and you can see either no walls, certain walls, or all of the walls. This is helpful depending on what type of building you're doing at the moment, or if you're in actual gameplay. Now this is not a gameplay tutorial, I won't be doing one of those during this series, but that is helpful to know always. And again, all of these have hotkeys, but you'll see me more often go ahead and click the actual button. Truthfully, I have poor muscle memory and hand-eye coordination, so clicking the button is easier for me. Now here are camera controls, and I consider this one of the most useful tools that a lot of people don't know about. If you click on camera controls, you actually get multiple cameras that you can use. Now, what I mean by this is you have the Sims 3 camera, which means the way the camera is controlled, all of that, Sims 3. You also have the Sims 4 camera. It's automatically going to start you in the Sims 4 camera, but truth be told, most builders I know build with the Sims 3 camera. And let me just show you the quick difference here. Now we'll start in the Sims 4 camera because when you first pull up the game, that's what you're going to be in. Now Sims 4 camera has a couple different movement options here. Just going to click on my select again. you can go ahead and go to the corners of the screen and that will move you around. If you go ahead and click the right mouse button, you'll kind of go ahead and swirl the camera around. If you press the left button, that's gonna kind of move you around like that. The center mouse button, the wheel, if you scroll it, it'll bring you out and bring you in. Out and in. Kind of do breathing exercises with that. If you click it, then you're allowed to move a little bit more like that. Gives you a little bit more smoothness compared to the left button click. Now, if we switch to the Sims 3 camera, same buttons, different actions. If we go like this, we still get to move around the screen. That doesn't change. But now, if we click the right mouse button, we get this movement. If we go ahead and click the left, it doesn't actually do anything. Now, the reason I like that is because I am using the left as my trigger button, which means I don't want to move when I click it. I want whatever I'm dealing with to move. I want the wall, the chair, what have you. With the center mouse wheel, same thing, in and out. Gotta love that zoom. And if we click it, that's when we get this control. So like I said, neither of those are wrong. In fact, what is most comfortable for you is what's best. A lot of people prefer the Sims 3 camera when building, but you don't have to. Just enjoy. Okay, other camera things. You also have the top-down button, which will give you that nice aerial view, especially if you're working out a blueprint or putting a light fixture right in the center of a room. It helps out a lot. You do also have a few buttons here that do the same things the mouse do. So we can rotate, we can zoom in. They're not going to be as fluid as using your mouse. So you can see there's quite a few different ways to do the same thing. I don't find those as fluid as using my mouse, so it's really going to be up to you. After the camera, you also are going to have the notification wall, which is apparently having issues for me. Go ahead and delete all those. And then you're going to have your options menu where you can save, exit, all of that fun stuff. Okay, now we are at the big menu. We're at the motherlode of menus. If we come down here, we have so many options. Everything you can click brings up a different menu, essentially. The first menu that comes up is pre-built rooms. These are going to be rooms that the Sims team has added to the game, either base game or as they add packs. Different packs will have different rooms. Now, you have a few different options here. If we go down to it, we're going to ignore the house and all of this for a moment. We're starting here. If you go ahead and click, there's walls and empty rooms, which is going to bring us to the wall tool. We'll come back to that. You also have styled rooms. These are going to be the ones I just was talking about with EA creating different rooms that you can then use, place, adjust, customize, whatever makes you happy. And then last we have saved rooms. So these are going to be rooms that you've saved from the gallery, that you've saved, that you've made yourself, and that you want to use again. Each one of these mini icons is going to bring up rooms that match that. So if we click on kids rooms, we're going to have different kids rooms that we can lay down. You can grab individual items like, oh my gosh, I love that poster, I want to use that. You can click it and grab it. Or you can also go ahead and buy the whole room. What's nice is you do also have the different color options. Now the other thing I love about this is you can go ahead and select different room colors for most of the rooms, meaning you can still adjust it and fit your vibe no matter what you're going for. Now, like I said, next episode we'll get more into this menu as we start actually building. But if we go ahead and jump over here, we have many more menus to discover. The basic menu that you're going to spend most of your time in is either build, which has, like we said, the rooms. It's going to have this other wall menu selection as well, which has half walls. It has half wall trims as well as platform trims. You have things like trims for the exterior of the house. You have roofs. There's columns, outdoor plants. Absolutely so many different options. If we go down one, we have objects by room. So these are things that are going to have been tagged by the Sims team as, hey, this belongs in the kitchen, or this belongs outside, this belongs in the office. Lots of these things are going to make sense. Some of them you're like, really? Did you mean to take that? Because it does not make sense. You can go through, you have kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, living room, the dining room, the office, kids' room, and outdoors. All of these are going to contain their own little mini menus, so we'll go through that later. The other menu down here is going to be by function. Now this is the menu I truthfully use the most, because if you go in here, things are going to be tagged often much better than they are in the room menu. Here you'll have a drop down that you can select all of these: comfort, surfaces, plumbing, activities and skills, so on, so on. If I want a rug, I'm gonna go decorations and then rugs. Boom, here's my menu. If I want a bed, I'm actually going to go comfort and then click on bed or love seat. Just the other reason I like coming from this menu, you are able to select sofa, love seat, chair, break it down as opposed to just one section. The last little button on here, you're not actually going to use in build mode unless you are working with a household, because this is going to be the household inventory. So you can't actually even click it when we're in this type of build mode. And that's episode 0. Like I said, today was just touching on all the little different buttons and menus that we have. We're going to deep dive into many of those going forward, but I wanted to just touch on all of them so you know where they are and what they do. Now, if you appreciate this, if it was helpful, please go ahead and press the like button. If you're excited to see the rest of this series, please go ahead, subscribe. Make sure to press that little notification bell so you get updates on this series as we go forward. Thank you so much to my community members on Twitch who have requested this series. You can find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/soursweet. All my links and information will be down in the description below, and I can't wait to see you next time. Thank you, and have a good day.